It's funny how life has a way of coming full circle. I had everything I needed, or so I thought. A fulfilling career, great friends, and all the freedom I could ask for. But there was always one thing missing: love. There was this guy, Jason. He'd been my best friend since college. The one who was always there for me, the one I turned to for advice, for support, for everything. But for the longest time, I couldn't see him as anything more than a friend. He had been in love with me for years, and I never once took him seriously. I didn't want to risk the friendship, or so I told myself. Every time he hinted at his feelings, I brushed it off with a smile and said, "You're like a brother to me." But what happens when the comfort of friendship no longer feels like enough? What happens when you realize the one you took for granted might just be the person you've been looking for all along? This is my story. The truth is, for years I had it all figured out. I convinced myself that I wasn't ready for a relationship, that I was too focused on my career, too independent, too busy to commit. And besides, I had Jason. He was my rock. He listened when no one else did, always ready with a joke or a word of comfort. But then, something changed. I turned 30. And as that milestone hit, so did the anxiety, the fear that maybe I was running out of time. I started dating, but nothing stuck. There was always something off. No one compared to Jason. The more I dated, the more I realized just how much he meant to me. But by then it was too late. Jason had met someone. He'd finally moved on, something I never thought I'd see. For years, I had pushed him away, and now he was with someone else. At first, I didn't care. I told myself it didn't matter, that I was fine. But the truth was, I wasn't fine. The more I saw them together, the more I realized how badly I had screwed up. What was it about Jason that I couldn't see all those years? Why had I spent so much time in denial, so sure that I could keep him in the friend zone forever? I wasn't a teenager anymore. I wasn't the girl who could afford to play games with someone's heart. And then one day, I got the wake-up call. I was 35, single, and Jason had just gotten engaged. It hit me like a ton of bricks. What had I been thinking all these years? I'd let the best thing that ever happened to me slip through my fingers. The thought of him marrying someone else made my heart break in a way I hadn't anticipated. I was scared. Scared of losing him forever. I had to do something. I had to make it right. But how? I called him. I was nervous, shaking, unsure of what I was going to say. "Jason, can we talk?" We met up that evening, and I could see in his eyes that he had moved on. He was happy, and he deserved to be. But when he saw me standing there, desperate and vulnerable, something shifted. "I messed up, Jason," I said. "I took you for granted. For years, I pushed you away because I was too scared, too caught up in myself to see what was right in front of me. And now, I don't want to lose you." He was quiet for a long time, his eyes looking at me, searching for sincerity. "I don't know if I can just forget about everything, about all the years you weren't there," he said. I knew what I had to do. I wasn't asking him to forget. I was asking for a chance to prove that I could be the woman he needed, that I could finally see him for who he truly was. "I'm sorry for how I treated you," I told him. "But I love you, Jason. I don't want to be just friends anymore. I want more than that." It was the hardest thing I've ever said, but I meant it with every fiber of my being. He looked at me, not with the anger or resentment I expected, but with a quiet understanding. He didn't rush to forgive me, nor did he immediately say yes. He needed time to process everything. And I gave him that time. Weeks passed, and we spent more time together. We talked about everything, about what went wrong, about how much we had changed, about the person I had become in the years since we last really connected. I didn't expect things to go back to how they were before. That would have been impossible. But what I did hope for was a new beginning, one where we could build something real. Eventually, Jason came to me and said, "I've thought about it, and I think we should give this a shot. But no more games, no more holding back." And just like that, after all those years of waiting, I finally had the man I had pushed away. But it wasn't just him who had changed. I had changed too. I was no longer that scared, self-absorbed girl who couldn't see love when it was right in front of her. I was ready to give him the love he deserved. We didn't rush into anything. We started slowly, cautiously, but the more we got to know each other, the deeper our bond grew. Jason was everything I had hoped for, and more. He was patient, understanding, and forgiving. And in return, I worked every day to be the partner he had always deserved. We didn't follow the script, the one where you meet, fall in love quickly, and live happily ever after. Our story was slower, more complicated, but it was ours. And that's what made it special. Eventually, we got married. And yes, it was everything I had always wanted. But it wasn't just about the marriage. It was about the years of learning, of growing, and of realizing that love is a choice, and sometimes it's a choice we have to make over and over again. Looking back, I see how blind I was. But I'm thankful for every second of that journey, because it led me here. And in the end, Jason wasn't just the one who loved me for 20 years. I was the one who learned to love him back.